Welcome to Recap Our Studio.
There is a world in our universe consisting of two twin planets that have dual gravity, enabling them to circle each other quite closely without encountering any problems. Three natural laws ensure that everything remains in its proper place. Only the gravity of their home planet can pull anything. Utilizing matter from the other world, also known as inverse matter, one may adjust an object's weight. After a few hours of contact, matter containing inverse materials begins to burn. Due to their near proximity, these two planets have merged into one another's sky vistas. The two classes are also kept apart by them. Rich and intelligent, the upper class may enjoy the latest technology advancements in this society, while the underworld is gloomy and impoverished. The upper world uses the resources of the lower world for its own gain, and it is the owner of Trans World, the sole business that owns a structure that connects the two realms. People from several planets are permitted to mingle in this organization for the sake of employment, and it has a private facility where wealthy individuals may experience alternative gravity out of curiosity. People from various worlds are not permitted to contact outside of this building, and doing so will result in legal consequences. Adam, a little boy, lives in an orphanage in the lower world after losing both of his parents in a trans-world manufacturing explosion that leveled most of the city. His great-aunt Becky is the only surviving family he has. She visits him on weekends and he gets to eat her flying pancakes. The recipe for these pancakes may be found in a book that Adam will eventually inherit. It turns out that Becky utilizes pollen from pink bees that reside in Sage Mountain and fertilize flowers from both realms. When Becky sends Adam to that mountain one day to gather pollen, he gets to ascend to the top and experience the upside-down rain that comes from another realm. Adam tosses a toy aircraft into the air, where it lands on the upper world and is captured by a lovely girl who becomes his buddy right away. The two of them continue to meet there after that day, and when they were teens, Adam and Eden began dating. To transport Eden to his realm, Adam always uses a rope. They may then embrace, kiss, and exchange meals from their respective homes. Adam and Eden are discovered by a gang of soldiers who open fire on them one afternoon while they go out for a run in the woods. Adam hastily returns to the summit and uses the rope as skillfully as he can to try to send Eden back to her realm. The rope, however, escapes his grasp and even drops to the ground, striking Adams in the head as one of the bullets strikes his arm. Adam goes home after sobbing all of his sorrows, when he is forced to see Becky's home, where she had been sleeping, burned to the ground. After 10 years, Adam and Pablo work at a repair shop under the guidance of their employer Albert. In the store when he has spare time, he uses pink bee pollen to create an anti-gravity solution for facelifts. The equipment he needs to develop, however, can only be discovered in the top world, therefore so far it only functions briefly. While watching television one day, Adam learns that Eden is still alive and employed by Trans World. To increase his chances of meeting her, he decides to apply for a job there as well. He immediately secures the post by demonstrating his anti-gravity matter experiments to them. Adam is also warned not to engage with anyone from the upper class for any reason unrelated to his employment and that he would face severe consequences if he takes any of the damaging information provided to him for his study. When Albert hears of this development, he is enraged because Adam views him as a traitor for collaborating with a business that has devastated their community. He was then reminded that Trans World had abducted his whole family. Adam tells Albert that although he doesn't like Trans World either, it's the only thing standing between him and a nice existence. After that, they hug to make amends. Eden is attending a support group in the meanwhile to help her cope with the forgetfulness she has been experiencing since falling that day on the mountain. Adam receives his first shipment of inverse matter on his first day of work along with access to a refrigerator to keep it secure. Additionally, he becomes friends with Bob, a worker from the upper class who encourages him to meet up with him in the smoking area where no one would see them. Adam agrees to help Bob, a stamp collector, acquire some from the underworld if Bob can discover a means for him to contact Eden in exchange. Days go by. Adam steals a little amount of inverse matter every day and conceals it in a suitcase in the maintenance room while secretly working hard on his anti-gravity formula. He also begins cultivating unique flowers under his desk. When Adam comes in the stamps, Bob is overjoyed. In addition to giving him Eden's office number, Adam also pulls out some fine clothing for Bob to wear when he finally gets that date. When Adam tries the cream on a dog, the trial goes well, and he is given the go-ahead to go on to testing on people following that successful afternoon. Adam uses Bob's phone and identity to set up a meeting with Eden on the pretense that it is necessary for business purposes after everyone has left. Adam then claims to remain behind at the office to work additional hours. Later that night, Adam enlists Pablo and Albert's assistance in creating a unique outfit to conceal the reversed matter so he may continue to view food while seeming to be from the above world. Pablo is unsure of Adam's precise strategy since, even if he hadn't taken him back, the law would have prevented their union. Adam, though, downplays his concerns. The next day, Adam gets dressed in the maintenance room, and as soon as he dons the opposite material on his garments, his body begins to gravitate differently. He has to escape quickly because a guard hears him moving about and arrives to look into it, but he succeeds in using the elevator before being apprehended. Unfortunately, there is a significant issue, so seeing Ethan again isn't as joyful as he had imagined. She can't recall him. After learning Ethan has amnesia from the secretary, Adam keeps the discussion focused on business while sometimes hinting to their shared background in an attempt to get Kate to react, but to no effect. Adam's proximity eventually starts scorching him, at which point he hurries out of the room while pretending to need to use the restroom. He chooses to urinate before going back because he wants the inverted matter to cool it down a little. However, since he is from the lower world, his urine floats up and strikes the ceiling, setting off the alarm. Adam must now go to the underworld in order to escape being found, leaving Eden without him. The company's CEO makes an announcement on who workers would be let go the next day, which appears to be a frequent event in Transworld. Poor Bob, who has worked for the company for 31 years, is on the list of workers who have been informed it is time for them to retire. At the conclusion of the day, Bob bids Adam farewell and hands him a box containing what he claims are more tools for his studies, but which also contains his ID, allowing Adam to exit the building through the upper world entrance. Adam calls Eden on the phone once more after Bob has left to extend an invitation to a date. Use Bob's ID and the inverse matter suit. Adam finally gets to go to the upper world, where he is astounded by how technology is present everywhere. He runs into her when they are both dining at a restaurant and can't help but inquire why she doesn't remember him. However, he becomes so frustrated by her lack of prior recollections that he alters the tale to refer to their chance encounter in the elevator. They have a delicious supper together. When Adam's shoes begin to burn, the date comes to an end, and he makes a promise to see her again soon before sprinting to the closest river and diving in. Then he removes all of his weights and allows them to sink. This allows him to naturally re-enter his own reality by falling back into the opposing river. The evening. Adam's voice and hazy summit encounters appear in Eden dreams. Later, Adam gives a presentation at the business to demonstrate how the cream is finally performing as expected when applied to human faces. When Eden arrives, he inquires as to whether he is indeed stuck. Adam can't lie and reveals her his true name because their supervisors are around. Adam interrupts his presentation in the midst and abandons it as Eden flees in tears, believing that he must have been attempting to con her. He then dons a new inverse matter suit and goes in search of Eden. Adam uses Bob's ID to enter the building again when Eden's secretary informs him that she has gone, but this time the system is updated and identifies that the card has expired, so the guards begin pursuing Adam. Adam understands as he sprints across the city that there is only one way to escape the guard. He removes his weights and allows gravity to lift him up to a balcony-level hiding place. Eden has another dream that night. And this time, she has a complete memory of their first encounter as children. Adam visits Bob in the morning, who is more than willing to temporarily conceal him while he adjusts his suit to prevent it from overheating. Adam thanks Bob and demonstrates his anti-gravity formula, saying that he withheld the last component from Transworld so they couldn't steal it from him. The staff at Transworld are beginning to realize this as well, and the CEO instructs his guards to locate him before the police do. A little while later, Adam stops by the same restaurant and is happy to see Eden waiting for him since, at last, she remembered anything. The pair kisses once again, but sadly, the police chase after Adam, causing him to flee out the window and lose weight once more so that gravity would carry him back to his home planet. Adam returns to the summit, which is the ideal course of action since Eden does the same on her side, while news reporters on TV are covering the tale of a fugitive from the lower world. When Adam hops over with his inverse matter suit, the pair gets back together. They get sexy while floating about owing to their combined gravitational pull. Soon later, the guards come upon a couple and start pursuing them into the forest. This Adam makes the decision to remove the inverse matter weights, grab Eden, and fly off with her when his planet's gravity takes over. When Adam is unintentionally shot, they get trapped inside the ancient, abandoned Zeppelin, and she has no choice but to let go of him so she may flee for her life. Adam miraculously lives by falling on top of a tree when Eden is ultimately captured. Two Transworld operatives approach Adam as he is walking back to his house and give him an ultimatum. If he provides them with the whole anti-gravity formula and agrees not to speak with Eden once again. After then, all charges will be dropped. While Adam begins to accept the notion that he is lost and will always be a loser in the lower realm, Bob continues on experimenting with the anti-gravity demonstration